Hello, good evening, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen James, the channel that brings you all the very latest on your Rangers team. This is your This is your fan channel. This is your fan channel, guys. You got to laugh, I suppose. Right, let's get to it. Let's talk a little bit about the game. Hey, Sid from Toronto. Hello to everyone in the live chat, guys. I'll try and keep up with the live chat tonight, but the live chat is absolutely alive, if you get my meaning. I've got to say, this today, going on the back of that defeat to St Mirren, is just not acceptable any longer. It is just absolutely just unbelievably unacceptable. I was planning obviously doing apologies, obviously not doing the live watch along, but I got stuck at work till I think it was about 4:15. I left work today. So decided to obviously sat down and watched the game once I got back. Gone back through the game, watched it. I must say I'm going to have to re-watch bits and pieces of it to get the full feeling for it. But look, I'll be honest with you. The biggest thing for me was when I saw the team. I genuinely saw that team, and I genuinely thought that he was having a laugh. I genuinely thought that it was some sort of April Fool's Day joke. Now, I understand the kind of discussion that came behind it, the whole idea of players need to be rested, but I think, there's a situation here that we cannot afford to rest players at this stage of the season. We are not in a resting players kind of place. We are in a place where we need our strongest team played week in, week out. We can't afford to rest players, and you look at that lineup and you genuinely think, for me, the biggest thing is he is not learning. He is not learning. He just does not see the obvious, and I don't understand why he cannot see what we can see. Now, when I saw that lineup today, I just genuinely thought this is a lineup from a manager who actually genuinely has not got a clue. Hasn't got a clue. Just generally has not got a clue what he's doing. Now, Jack Butland today was absolutely awful. He was genuinely pathetic today. He genuinely didn't have... His mind is not on the game at this moment in time. He is all over the place. He is like a rabbit caught in the headlights. He is like a deer caught in the headlights. He is looking a bomb scare. He is an absolute bomb scare at this moment in time. And, at the end of the day, he needs to be taken out of the lineup. And today was the perfect opportunity, I believe. Thank you, Jiggy, for that. It's very generous of you. Thankfully, the sheep lost. Sad it has to come to this. Yeah, Aberdeen did lose. Thank you for that, Jiggy. Very generous of you. But yeah, he needed to be taken out of the firing line. And for me, today, today was the perfect opportunity to actually bring Kelly in. I actually think Kelly would have played really well against his former club. How many times, like I said on the video this morning, have we been outplayed by, a former player? Has a former player come back to haunt us? Quite a few times. You get goalied a lot, don't you, by former goalkeepers and things like that. Sterling, I thought, was poor today. I thought Tav was poor. Robin Proper, I'm going to get to Robin Proper. I do want to talk about Robin Proper. He was absolutely dreadful today. Ridvan was average. Raskin, I think, did okay today. Raskin tried today, and he was the one player that kind of put a little bit of effort in and kind of is the only player that's kind of standing out a little bit. Dio was lost today. Dowell, I genuinely don't understand that at all. Watching that first half, he did absolutely nothing. He did nothing. He doesn't serve a purpose. Where is his best position? Where is his best position? Well, I don't know where it is. He's not a winger. He's not a centre midfielder. He's not an attacking midfielder. He's not a striker. He's not really anything, and he doesn't do anything. I don't understand that pick today. Not when you've got Bayrami on the bench, when you've got, Barron on the bench. Why are you putting him in there? I don't get it. I don't understand Dowell playing, because to me he serves absolutely no useful purpose whatsoever. McCausland even over Dowell. If you're going to put Dowell on the wing, why? The guy's got no speed. I don't get it. Cortez, I don't know why he started. Cortez to me looked so unfit. I don't think you can kind of sort of cast any sort of assertions on his quality today because looks so unfit. It is untrue. Danilo was okay, not great, and Cyril Dessers. I just can't. And people talk about me hating Cyril Dessers and me disliking Cyril Dessers, but I just don't understand why he picked Dessers, because if you look at the performances where Rangers have looked better, the games against Spurs, the games against Celtic, the game against Kilmarnock, the second half against Dundee United, what was the common denominating factor there? We had two up top. We had Hamza up top, and we had Danilo up top, and they created more movement. They created space. They created a dynamism to the attack. Whenever Dessers is in the team, he contributes to the team not being able to get out. He can't hold the ball up. His movement is poor. He doesn't move defenders around. He's offside. He falls over too much. He has that chance today where he absolutely fluffs it, completely and utterly fluffs it, and I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand how Clement can sit there and genuinely think that Dessers can make a difference to this team. And I think we saw, didn't we, at half time, Dessers gets taken off, Hamza comes on, Hamza scores 2 goals. It is. I don't understand the logic behind putting Dessers in the side. Thank you so much for that, Bluebells. That's very, very generous. Decent enough players in this squad to scalp everyone, but them in this league, better youth than any of them that don't play. Instead, we get Dross. The manager is tactically inept for the SPFL. Leave. Bluebells, brilliant point. I've got to say, that is absolutely spot on, because you look at the team today, and you look at what happened today, and you just think he does not learn. He doesn't make it any better on himself. He genuinely doesn't make it any better on himself because of what he's doing. It just shows a tactical ineptness. It shows a lack of ability, a lack of talent, a lack of just knowledge of the game. It really does. I mean, getting to some of your points here, CJ says, what does Phil actually do apart from talk shite? Coppens chooses the players to buy. The medical team pick the team, and Phil isn't doing set-piece training too well. I mean, I think you've got a great point there. The set-pieces are awful. I mean, if you go back across Rangers history to the likes of Walter Smith, to the likes of Graham Souness, they bought the players, they picked the players, they trained the players, they did contracts with the players, they did absolutely everything. The modern manager, like Clement, has had a lot of that taken off his plate now. So Coppen does the contracts, Coppen does the signings. Clement's job is to motivate the team, is to pick the team, is to coach the team, and is to put the team on the park. That's his job. It's not a hard job. It's not a complicated job. It's not bloody rocket science. Not when you understand it. Not if you've got coaching badges and coaching certificates. You know how to coach a football team. You know how to put a shape out there. And one of the things for me that is really getting to me at this moment in time, guys, is that we're not seeing a progress there. We're not seeing a team moving forward. Now, if I could sit here tonight in front of you and I could say, right, we've lost to St Mirren, we've drawn with Motherwell, but do you know what? I can see a pattern of play. I can see a progression of tactics. I can see a shape. I can see something that, once we get more players in, once we use a few of the younger players, it's going to work. It's going to get better. It's going to improve. I tell you something, I can't see any of that now. I genuinely sit here tonight, and other than the odd game, like the Celtic game, like the Spurs game, like the Killie game, to some extent the second half against Dundee United, I can't see anything that shows me that this team is a team that is moving forward. To me, it looks like a moments team, a team that can turn it on and in when it needs to, and can have the odd good performance and show the odd good bit of play, but long term, there is no progression there. There is no style there. There is no shape to the play. There is no formation that works. And, as has been said, as Bluebell says here, there are enough decent players in that team to do better than they're doing at this moment in time. I'm sorry, but you look at the team that went out there, and you look at the players we've got, and under a decent manager, under a manager who could motivate, under a manager who would put a shape in place, under a manager who would put a set of tactics in place, you would get results against the likes of Motherwell, St Mirren, Dundee United with these players. Yes, you may struggle against Celtic, of course. They are the best team in Scotland right now, and it really makes me feel sick to say that. But you put Bayrami, Cortez, Raskin, Danilo, Hamza, players like that out there against the likes of St Mirren, against the likes of Dundee, against the likes of, Hibernian, who I think will beat us, and they will get results. If you gave those players to, let's say, for argument's sake, Kevin Muscat, or to even one of the managers down south, like someone like that Thomas Frank from Brentford, or the Fabian Hurlitz or Hertz or whatever he's called, the guy from Brighton, or even someone like that, they would organise this team to be far more effective than Clement does, and you wouldn't be seeing the dross on the field. You would at least see a progression of tactics and organisation. He doesn't need more time. He generally doesn't need any more time. He's going to get more time. I'll tell you that now. There is no way that they will sack him. Whether you are Clement in or Clement out, we are running a poll at this moment in time in the live chat. Whether you are Clement in or Clement out, let me tell you this: the guy is going nowhere. He will still be in charge on Thursday. He will still be in charge for the Celtic game, and no matter what happens in that Celtic game, he will still be in charge for the Hibernian game. It's like I said on the video the other day. And the poll was actually fascinating to say 33% of you are voting that no, he shouldn't be sacked. I'd love to know why people think he shouldn't be sacked, because for me, there is absolutely no evidence that he should keep his job. Keep Clement on for Thursday so we can feel the pain and the abuse that he's going to get from the fans. We are officially Sports Science FC. Yeah, I think we'll be third this season. I mean, Dundee United are coming, aren't they? They certainly are. How the fuck is there still 30% of people watching saying this man needs more time? Fuck me. I've got to agree. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't think Dessers wants to be here anymore. I think he's kind of got that point now where he doesn't want to be in charge. He doesn't want to be at the club because he doesn't want to play, a part. Hadji wasn't feeling very well today. 17 points by Friday, chaps. It could well be, James. We create enough chances that though it's okay. Yeah, I did try to be honest with you, Tim. I haven't even watched the post-match press conference. I don't want to watch it because I just know it'll be the same old crap and it'll just make me really angry. See all this sports science bullshit just getting the bin. Cheney is tired. He came on, didn't look tired to me. Absolute joke. I was backing the manager until the last two results. Reluctantly, I think it's time to part ways. The difficulty is in picking and acquiring the best replacement. I'll be honest with you, Robert. If he was, I don't think he will be sacked, but if you were to sack him now, I don't think we should appoint a manager on a permanent basis to the end of the season. On a permanent basis, I think we should put somebody temporarily in charge to the end of the season and then make a decision in the summer as to who comes in, because I think the issue you've got is you're going to be stuck in a very similar situation that we've had the last few times. Gerrard left, Gio takes over partway through the season, doesn't work out. Gio is sacked, Beale takes over partway through the season, doesn't work out. Beale is sacked, doesn't work out. Clement comes in partway through the season, it isn't working out. So, I don't think that bringing in a manager partway through the season when you've got the pressure of let's get a manager in quick, we've got big games coming up, we need to stay in this cup, we need to keep in this contention, we need to do well in the Europa League. I don't think it works. I honestly believe that if we were to sack him tomorrow, which I don't think will happen, I think we need to have someone as a temporary manager until the end of the season, and then at the end of the season you sit down and you go through a proper recruitment process and look for a manager. Not seen progress since 55. That's a great point. We haven't, Aldo, definitely not. Absolutely, 100% agree, Bluebells. Sad thing, no one is surprised. If you are, where have you been? We have gone backwards. Clement makes a point of mentioning sports scientists because he needs his scapegoats. That's an interesting comment, that one, actually. The manager's lost the dressing room. Only 155 because Celtic imploded. Only reason. Owen Phil will not get the sack even if we lose to them because we are still playing well in the Europa League. Look, I'll be honest with you, Paul. As I said yesterday in the video, I don't think it matters how we're playing in the Europa League. I honestly don't think we came I don't think he gets sacked no matter what. I think we can lose to Celtic on Thursday. We can lose to Hibs as well on the Sunday, and I think he still keeps his job. I don't think he goes under any circumstances. I cannot see any circumstances under which he is sacked. I think he'll still be the manager at the end of the season, and I think personally we'll be over 20 points behind Celtic by the end of the season, at least 20 points behind them. Genuinely. YouTube user says, when we were screaming out for a fast winger at the St Mirren team, why did he not use Matondo or Cortez? But these guys could play a few days later. I think that's a very good point. Why is it that you suddenly made that progress? I don't care what anyone says. Sack Clement, get Duncan Ferguson in with an experienced team around him. Interesting call. I mean, nothing against getting Duncan Ferguson as an interim manager to the end of the season. I don't think that's a bad move. I wouldn't necessarily give him the job on a permanent basis, but why not bring him in temporarily? You are here to the end of the season. Prove yourself. If he doesn't, then we go and obviously in the summer, you look at the summer and then you draw up your shortlist and then you go for a manager. But at the moment, he's still in a job, isn't he? Worried about playing Celtic. Tossed 2 games away now. Beating Celtic, he'll probably do a lap of honour with the players if we win. I hope he doesn't. Clement got it wrong again. Butland Port, too many mistakes. Not one player fully fit. Dessers Oot, I'm speechless, says Michelle Jones. Another new name, guys. Welcome. Obviously, as well, please smash the like. Sub as well. Remember, this channel is a channel that is free. We bring you free content every day. We don't hide stuff on Patreon. We don't hide stuff behind paywalls. We don't charge you $3.50 a month or $2.50 a month to watch content. The only support we get, obviously, is through the views, through the membership scheme, which is 99p. And of course, the other bit, obviously, is when you do super chats and super stickers like Jiggy and Michelle. Thank you. Brilliant. I didn't see that, Michelle. I'm really sorry I didn't see that. Brilliant straight talking. Thank you very much, Michelle. That's very generous of you. So I know super chats like those guys do. So at the end of the day, I don't get it. I like this one. If fans do go to games, no gate money, maybe listen then. I mean, this is something that we've heard. Is this idea of a kind of boycott of the game on Thursday, that fans don't turn up for the game on Thursday. Now, I don't think that is realistic. I don't think you're ever going to get a situation where fans don't turn up for the whole firm. Even if you've got fans not turning up, you're still going to get somebody to buy the seats. So I don't think that's realistic. But we should, for me, at least for the next home game after Celtic, fans should stay away. Fans should let the board know that we're not happy, that we are genuinely unhappy with the current state of the club. We are genuinely unhappy with the manager. We are genuinely unhappy with what we're seeing. And the only way to do that is by the only thing that works with our board, and I'll get back to the game in a minute, is hit them in the pocket. If you hit them in the pocket, then they'll listen. If we just come here and we just all sit here and we all moan and whinge and whine and we all moan on podcast and we all moan on radio, on Clyde phone-ins, and we all moan on message boards, the board don't give a shit, because at the end of the day, they're still getting their millions of pounds, their thousands of pounds from match day revenue, from ticket revenue, from merchandise sales. Until we actually start staying away from games, not buying merchandise from the club shop, that's when we're going to start hitting them where it hurts. That's when they're going to start listening, because the moment Ibrox is half empty, the moment there's no money coming in through the tills, that's when the board start listening, when there's no money. Give the next manager a 3-month grace period. If it isn't working out, no payout, no nothing. This is why I'm saying about getting someone on an interim basis, not giving them a long-term contract, saying, right, you've got a contract till the end of the season, prove you're worthy of another contract, or you're gone. Simple as. Fans pay the wages. They do, Michelle, absolutely. Been hearing rumours about that Rangers fans are selling tickets to Celtic fans. Well, there we go. Only a total buyout, tickets, merchandise, Rangers TV and so on will get action from them. Yeah, absolutely. It's what I mean. It's all about hitting them where it hurts. The whole background coaches need gone. Who the fuck is showing them how to take corners, and why can't we head a ball back to a goalie or play safe or head the ball out for a corner? There's something very, very, very dodgy going on. Season ticket sales are already 95% guaranteed. Minimum impact, fans not showing up. Boycotting strip sales, merch, food at games might move the needle. Absolutely. Pascal, Janssen gives youth a chance to play decent football. There's a possibility. Nessie says, I thought that we had to stick with him because we have cut and ran too many times, but we really have showed his mentality by changing so many players when we didn't need to. Agreed. Warren Galbraith, another new name. Welcome, Warren. Our players only turn up when playing in Europe, putting themselves in the shop window. Yeah, I mean, if you were to sit down with a fan that had never seen Rangers play, and show them an SPL game and then show them a Europa game, I think they'd be shocked at what they're seeing. Because it is absolutely just two different teams. But Celtic being 14 points in front of us and they have only beaten us once in the league says it all. Don't hear Clement complaining about budgets now. And as I said, a number of times, we are now 14 points behind Celtic. Michael Beale was sacked for being 7 points behind Celtic. Gio was sacked for being 9 points behind Celtic. Why are we keeping a manager that's put us 14 and it may be 17 points behind 17 points behind Celtic by the end of Thursday night? And that is unacceptable. Absolutely, wholly unacceptable. Airwolf makes a good point. Hamza is the only bright spark. I would agree with that. Hamza is the only bright spark. He's the one player that's kind of standing out for me at this moment in time. He really is. He's playing very, very well. He's doing, he looked great today, didn't he? I mean, let's get back. What else we got? We are living on previous club's achievements. 3 trophies in 12 years is embarrassing. It absolutely is. 100% embarrassing. I want to touch on a few situations from today's game. It's this, is that, I'll tell you this, we are playing players that are just simply not good enough. I mean, let's take Robin Proper, for example. Robin Proper today was absolutely hopeless. He was absolutely useless. The back four as a whole were absolutely useless. They were just absolutely dreadful. They really were. I mean, Proper today, he was ball watching. He was just looking absolute. He just didn't have a clue. He looked like a schoolboy. He looked worse than a pub league defender. I mean, I bet if you'd gone down to the Parks leagues in Glasgow this morning and watched some of the football down there, you'd probably seen better defenders than Robin Proper. I mean, Proper is just unbelievably bad. He is such a poor defender. How does he keep getting a game? How does he keep playing? I don't get it. I don't get how you can keep picking this man who just underperforms time after time. And, people say, well, what other choices has he got? Well, I'll tell you this. How much worse would Leon King be? Genuine question for you. How much worse would Leon King be than Robin Proper in central defence? I don't get it. I don't understand. The 36% of you who are voting to keep Clement, please explain it to me. Please explain it to me. I don't understand how anyone can want him to stay in a job tonight. He is just awful. But Proper, like I said, Leon King, is he any worse than Robin Proper? No. Is he going to do any worse? No. Going to the youth team, are there not youth team defenders there that are better? Because Proper, this is a guy who captained FC20, yet looks like a pub footballer. Genuinely looks like a pub footballer. I thought Sterling was poor. I thought the whole back four was poor today. I thought the whole back five, including Butland, was poor today. And the defence was absolutely shocking. And one of the issues our midfield has a number of times is our midfield are constantly doing this, looking over their shoulder. They are worried with what's going on behind them. Now, we are missing John Souttar very, very badly. We are missing Leon Balogun very, very badly. I think if Souttar and Balogun play today, there's no way that first goal gets scored. And if you go back to that first goal, can somebody please explain to me how Proper and Sterling get done like that? You can claim handball all you want, but the handball doesn't contribute to the goal, and the handball was actually an accident. You wouldn't give it. I wouldn't have given it as a ref. You look at it and you play to the whistle. I mean, what is the first thing you are taught as a kid? As a kid, you are taught play to the referee's whistle. Don't waste time going along and saying stuff like, At the end of the day, don't waste time going along and stopping, moaning at the referee, and then thinking, oh shit, that player's just run past me. Oh bollocks, I better run after him now. No, play to the fucking whistle. Play to the fucking whistle. I don't get it. I don't get it. Bluebells with another live super chat. Bluebells, you are so generous tonight. Thank you so, so much. Need to do one, pal. Get this fucker out of our club. Tav as well. Move on. New manager, new captain. Have a good one. Thanks, Bluebells. Thank you so much. Have a good nurse to unite. And you're right. You know, at the end of the day, you are right. We do need to get a complete new start with manager and captain. There was times today when, you know, when it's going, you know, when it was going wrong. Where was the captain? Where was the captain? You know, where was he leading the way? I don't get it. He should have been there, pulling this team together, sorting this team out, and really kind of saying, this is not good enough. Come on, boys, sort yourselves out. Fucking bang heads together. You know, go back to the old days. Go back to Barry Ferguson, to Terry Butcher. Captains like that. Do you think they would have allowed that shambles of a first half against St Mirren, the shambles of the first half against Motherwell? No way. No way. Let's get to some of your comments before I do some more. I rant a little bit more. I'm pretty sure I could go to my local Sunday League team, pick 11 players and beat us easily. That's how brutal we are right now. And I'll be honest with you, Geordie, I don't think the players we've got are that bad on the whole. I think it's the way that they are organised, the way that they are used, and the way that they are played. I mean, I honestly believe if you gave that Rangers team to the Dundee United manager, I can't remember the guy's name now, Gordon is it, or Jim, whatever he's called, him, or if you gave them to Brendan Rodgers, or you gave them to David Gray, or someone like that, I don't think they would do any worse than Philippe Clement. I think they'd actually do better than Philippe Clement because they would actually get a style and an organisation to play. So I don't think it's just the players. Yes, the players are downing tools and not trying and not putting the effort in because I think the manager has lost them. But those players are not as bad as they are looking on a match day. You know, like I've said a number of times, there's a number of players in our team who on their day, when they play to their fullest capability and they are fully match fit, should be enough to absolutely smash Hibs, Aberdeen, Hearts, Dundee United, Motherwell, St Mirren, etc, etc. Alexander Marshall, proper can't understand why a draw is a bad result as it is in Holland. Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, I think Clement doesn't either. I don't think Clement gets it either. I think there's an overall feeling that, you know, back when he was manager of Bruges and of Genk, a draw wasn't always a bad result. But in Scotland it is. If you do anything like lose to any team that is not Celtic, which is still an awful result, you've failed. You've failed. It wasn't yet, but the situation was in the rules of the game. Sid, it doesn't actually get blown up as a free kick because it wasn't. He didn't. It's an accidental handball. It's not a handball that was deliberate. He didn't deliberately use his hand to control the ball. Therefore, under the rules of the game, now speaking as a referee now, not a Rangers fan, you can't. You just don't give it as a free kick. That's the situation. Our Rangers radio hiding, too embarrassed because of their constant happy clapping. Lol, says Andy McLean. Manager should walk away if he has any self-respect, but he won't. Peacock strikes back. He won't. Butland was too far off his line. Butland was in no man's land for that first goal. It was absolutely awful. And as I've said, you know, Butland, to me, does not look like his head is in the game. He looks all over the place. He looks like his confidence is completely shot to shit. He looks all over the place. And for me, Butland's not, look, and I know some of you are going to shout at me for this, Butland's not a bad goalkeeper. He's not a bad goalkeeper. But his confidence is shot to shit. And as a goalkeeper, when your confidence is shot to shit, you become an absolute bomb scare. And the problem is that as an outfield player, you can sometimes hide that. When your confidence is gone and you are just all over the place, because you've got 10 other people around you, you can kind of or 9 other people around you, you can kind of hide a little bit. And you can be hidden by other people contributing. But the problem is when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, it is often a critical error. And 99% of the time, it will lead to a goal. So keepers can't hide. It just so happens that their mistakes are magnified massively. I don't think Butland has become a bad goalkeeper overnight, but I do think that his confidence is absolutely all over the place. And I think that he needs pulling out of the lineup for his own good. I think he needs a time out of the team, a time to reflect, a time to be coached, a time to talk through the issues that he's clearly got in terms of his head being all over the place and sort him out. For me, yeah, absolutely lost us. Proper will think. I think as the players that. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the problem. He's been banned now, Joe. Agreed. Let managers go. Maybe Clement has dirty pics of the board. Lol. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's simple header. It's a safe. It's always absolutely. What else have we got? Clement says earlier they're already interested in some of our younger players. Igman will be off right away. Alan, welcome. We sacked the manager, do a clear out. Same old, just more money out the door. Should have brought the boys through when we were down. I think, though, the model we're trying to move to, Alan, is that we don't need to rebuild time and time again. We're trying to move to a more continental model where the sporting director buys the players and the manager kind of uses the players. These are not necessarily players that Clement is picking. These are players that Coppen is picking, that the scouts are picking. And yes, Clement is having a say, but it's not all down to him. We're kind of moving to a modern model of football. You know, you look across the Premier League and you look at Arsenal, Arteta, Schlott at Liverpool, who else? Emery at Aston Villa. You look at Santo at Forest. They're not buying the players. The sporting directors are buying the players. They are just using the players that they're being given. It's to stop this constant cycle of sack a manager, get a load of new players, sack a manager, get a load of new players. And then you end up with 30 or 40 players who are everybody else's players and not your own. And I think we're trying to get away from that. We need 2 defenders, 1 left wing and a striker. Good shopping list. Tav should be told to fuck off. Yeah. Janet, I'm thinking as well. Dow. Dow. I don't get Dow. New manager, new year. This manager is slowly destroying our club. I've got to say, I agree. He is slowly destroying our club. Clay Dabler, we should go back in for Cantwell. I don't think he'd come back, mate. They're talking about bringing back Davis from Birmingham. That's how bad we are. The one thing I'll say, Alexander, is this. Would he be any worse than Proper? Is Ben Davis any worse a player than Proper? I don't think he is. Question has to be answered is why we can play good Euro teams and Tottenham play well and get good results, yet can't beat this domestic dross. I think there's a couple of answers to that, John. I think number one is you get a lot more time and space in Europe because even Proper looks half decent in Europe. You don't get the same time and space in Scotland, and I don't think the players we've got can cope with that because of the way they're set up. And also, I think that the players will naturally raise their game a whole lot more playing against Tottenham, against Manchester United, against Nice, against Malmo, than they ever will against St Johnstone or Motherwell or St Mirren. I think that's the issue. Butler's a liability now. Yeah. He's a shit keeper. I don't think he is, Scott. I think he's just all over the place. Yeah, he does. As always, I come in peace. If you're going to drop Igman and Cherney, why not use Lovelace and the other young boy that's tearing it up in the B team since Dessers will be gone in January? I mean, Megan, that's a good shout. I mean, I know you're not a Rangers fan, but that's actually a really good shout. Finley Curtis, I think you're talking about. Yeah, why not use some of these young players? I don't get his unwillingness to actually play, to play these youngsters. Why are we not using Bailey Rice? Why are we not using Zach Lovelace? Why are we not using Finley Curtis? Why are we not using these players? Why are we not giving them a chance? Because I'll tell you something, they wouldn't do any bloody worse than the team we've got out there at the moment. They genuinely wouldn't. They are. If you remember, 6 to 9 months ago, England manager came to see Butland. He messed up that day. Since then, he's been crap and mistakes, says Michelle. I do think like I said, I think his head is gone. I do think his head is absolutely gone. David Phillips, the over-reliance on sports science is absolute nonsense. It's what I said on the video the other day, mate. Is two of the most fundamental issues we have at this club is that we are a moments team, which we saw again today. It was 2 moments from Hamza that get us back in the game. 2 moments of fantasticness from Hamza that, Danilo shoots, hits the post, Hamza scores. Hamza then scores that fantastic goal. 2 moments that get us back in the game. Other than that, we are awful. We are relying on moments players to pull us out of the shit by playing brilliantly or doing something brilliant. We are not relying on a team going out there, giving a controlled performance, and and winning a game, and that's the big issue. And yeah, sports science is taking too much of a role. You know, for me as a manager, as a coach, you've got to trust your own judgment on a player. You've got to look at it and say, right, look, he looks fit to me, he looks fine to me. Chat to the player, how you feeling, what you like. I'll guarantee something. If he goes to Václav Černý before the game today and goes, Václav, I'm thinking of giving you a rest, Černý will go, no, I don't need a rest, boss. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to play, boss. Get me out there. I guarantee that will happen. But for some unknown reason, he takes him out of the team. I don't get it. Don't understand it. What else have we got? How many more years are we going to be a team in transition? Good shout. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Let's face it, we'll probably sell Hadji and Igman in January and be stuck with Clement and Dessers. Oh, God, please don't say that. Davey Weir at 38 played a 65-game season. Come on. And for the life of God, I don't want to ever see Dowell or Dessers starting for us again. Team selection is abysmal. I mean, I'll be honest with you. You know, you're right. Team selection is abysmal, and the proof that team selection is so bad is the fact that he has to make so many changes at half time. You know, if the team he picks is the right team, then why is he having to change it so many times at half time and bring players on that have supposedly been rested or supposedly need a rest? I don't get it. And you're right. You know, I think, you know, certain footballers are sort of sheltered too much. You know, they really genuinely are sheltered too much. And like you said, you know, players like Davey Weir played a 65-game season and were 38 years old. Ridiculous. Recall Davis and Yefeko. I don't think Yefeko comes back. I think he's going to be sold at the end of the day. Davis over Proper every day of the week and twice on a Sunday. At least he's... absolutely. You know, he's not... yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Davis over Proper. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Ben Davis is average. He's very average. He's not a very good player. And he's not always getting the Birmingham team down here in League One. But he's better than Robin Proper. He's much better than Robin Proper. And Connor Goldson is better than Robin Proper. Now, for me, when you sell a player, you should replace him with someone better than him. And to me, Proper smacks of a panic buy. Proper smacks of someone that was available, and we just managed to get him because there was literally nobody else out there that we could get. We went for Cordoba, we went to Norwich. Who did we get instead? Go for this Kike Fernandez, the Brazilian from that club in Spain, who I can't remember now. That didn't work out, and it was kind of like, crap, Goldson's left, we haven't got this, we need a defender, who's available? We'll have that one. And I think that's what happened. And I genuinely think he looks like a panic buy. He looks like a massive, massive panic buy. Trying Scotsman, he isn't actually. He's got a job as the sporting director for Red Bull Sports. So he is going to be paid a lot of money. Butland's confidence is shattered, that's for sure. Absolutely. Gregor. Clement's attitude is infecting the team. He thinks he can play in anyone and beat SPL teams. This gets to the players. You can see it in their play. Yeah, I think they will. I honestly believe we're at a point where Celtic could disappear over the horizon and become a team that we can't even get anywhere near. I speaks about youth and his only favourites get the chance to play, not the Scottish boys. I mean, this is one of the things that frustrates the hell out of me, YouTube user, about Philippe Clement, is the whole situation around when he came to the club. He talked very much as been a man who was not afraid to give youth a chance. You know, he even said that in his interview. I am not afraid to give youth a chance. Look at my past record. Well, tell me who he's giving a chance to in this team. Nobody. I mean, even McCausland isn't getting a chance these days. You know, why are we not having Rice on the bench, Lovelace on the bench, Curtis on the bench? Why are we not seeing them for 15, 20 minutes? I mean, realistically, been this far behind Celtic, have we got anything to lose? No, we haven't. Clement has become obsessed with beating that mob. He's dismissing these other teams as a threat. If you don't give young players a chance, they will go to other clubs. Stephen, that's a great point. Of course they will. Of course they will. 100%. Derek McInnes is like a young Walter Smith. He demands respect. Imagine what we do with a proper budget at Rangers. That's an interesting one. Very interesting one. Very interesting. Igman is our only solid signing. Maybe Hefte. Nicholas, how you doing, buddy? Welcome must say relieved to see you, Nicholas. We don't see you a lot these days. Really relieved to see you. Yeah, it's absolutely. Our youth talent is not being given a chance. I agree, mate. I agree. 100% agree. Gerrard built a Rangers side that went 2 years undefeated against Celtic. That's all been, yeah, agreed. Stuart, how you doing, buddy? Kev, how is it, buddy? Gotta say, guys, this guy, DJ Lenke, he's one of my really good mates at work. He's a top man. And I've got to say, he is the most, if you're ever feeling down, right, this guy is the most infectiously happy guy on planet Earth. He really is. We could do with a bit of him tonight. There is a systematic issue with the club. A lot of these players just aren't good enough, and that didn't happen overnight. It's been happening for a while. I mean, I think you sum it up perfectly there, Kev, with what you say. The recruitment over the last 3 to 5 years has been shocking. I mean, you look at the players we've recruited over the last 3 to 5 years, and none of them have made a massive difference to this club. None of them have substantially improved this club. You can find the odd example of the odd flash of Todd Cantwell. Nicholas Raskin, I think, possibly, is one. Igman is another. But you look through the rest of them, Dessers, Lammers, the dross that we've, even, going back to Lundstrom being signed, there's not a lot of players that have come in and improved this side. And I agree with you. There is something systematically and fundamentally wrong with this club, and it needs a huge overhaul in terms of the whole guts of it ripping out. The manager needs to go. The whole coaching staff need to go. The chairman, the board need to go. We need a massive root and branch overhaul of this club. We really, really do. Diamonde, another Owen, who simply can't handle the aggression and the pace of the Irish League. Barron got to start those games, really has. Belgium and Scottish leagues are totally different. I've got to say I agree with that one. What else have we got here? Loads of comments, guys. It's really hard to keep up with your comments tonight. Chopping and changing every team. That's another one. No stability, no consistency. I mean, that's a great point. It really genuinely is. At the end of the day, we've got a situation where, I'll be honest with you, we've got a major issue. With the way this club is, the direction this club is going in. The players, I think, part of it is down to the organisation of them. I think part of it is down to the tactics. Part of it is down to the shape. But it's also recruiting the right players to play in this league. It's recruiting the players who can make a difference in this league. And it's something we haven't done. And it's something that the other side of the city have done brilliantly. I mean, you look at the players that they've brought in, that A, they've sold off, or B, that they've still got, who make a fundamental difference for them. You look at the likes of Matt O'Reilly, Jota, you look at Bernardo, you look at Kyogo, you look at Maida, you look at Hatate. These are signings they've made that have come in, made an impact, improved the team. How many Rangers signings over the last 5 years can you sit and honestly, hand on heart, say have come in and made a substantial improvement? Not seen many Rangers games, bar the old firms. What has Barron done to be dropped? I thought he always looked good against us. He gives 110% every game I've seen him play. It's too bad we didn't go for Muscat. I think Muscat would have made a big difference. I think, Muscat plays fast, attacking, aggressive football. Something that works in Scotland. Something that Anne showed worked in Scotland. Yeah, perhaps doesn't work in Europe. I mean, people point to, his record in Europe not being great, but I'll be honest with you, he really is a manager who I think would work in Scotland because he plays fast, quick, attacking, aggressive football. And to winning games in Scotland, if you play fast, quick, attacking, aggressive football, you succeed. Ange showed that. As whatever we think of Ange, that's the situation. Jiggy saying hello to my, yeah, absolutely. Celtic fans definitely commenting on your poll. Thursday win does now in this season. No winning streak, no form. We'll probably play well on Thursday. I mean, that's the ironic thing, mate. That would be the Rangers thing to do, wouldn't it? That we go on and we probably win on Thursday. Stupid as it says. We've been getting rid of players and not replacing them with like for like, even better players. Who has even come close to replacing? Morelos, agreed. He's been gone for a while now. Yeah, we haven't replaced Morelos. We haven't replaced... Look, people can say what they want about Ryan Kent, but we haven't replaced Ryan Kent. yes, Ryan Kent went through a bad spell near the end, but during 55 and after, he looked a very good footballer. He gave them nightmares, yet we have never replaced him. We've never replaced them. Could Muscat have played his style of football with these players? I don't know, mate. I don't know, Stuart, without seeing it. Whistleblower. Bayrami is a game changer, but not much use being played out of position. Same with Diamonde. These are good players, but if we don't play them in the position, we're pissing into the wind. Yeah, we absolutely must not sell Igman in January, even if a 20 million offer comes in. I agree. We have sold any player that has any value because courts cost bad kit deals. Clement has been sold a lemon, told to turn lemonade into lemon without any sugar. Look, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I look at the team now and I look at the acquisitions we've made, and I think we have got some decent players. We really have got some decent players, but we don't use them correctly. You know, Diamonde at Norgesland was an 8. How often have we ever used him in that position and asked him to do the box-to-box stuff that he was asked to do at Norgesland? Never. Bayrami is a 10, yet 9 times out of 10 he's played on the wing. You know, Fabio Silva, who's been a success this season for Las Palmas in Spain, was played on the wing, yet the guy was a 10 or a 9. You were playing him on the wing. I don't understand that whole situation. You know, I genuinely believe that we need to not just try and crowbar players into his formation. He needs to sit there and he needs to come up with an idea to say, right, look, these are the players I've got. This is the formation that's going to work. You know, at the end of the day, and he hasn't done that. He's tactically inept. I'm a Celtic fan, but I come from a Rangers family. I don't come to brag or cause drama. I enjoy the streams, and I'm very fair. You have been, Megan, so far, and I have respect for you. What you've said so far. And look, if you're going to come in and be respectful, that's fine. Do you support bringing Gerrard back and letting build another league-winning team? I don't think it would work. I wouldn't bring back Gerrard. I don't think... Yeah, great point. Lammers is a 9, and he's been successful at 20 as a 9. 20 as a 9, yet we play him on the wing, we play him as a 10, we don't use him. Again, I don't know it. I don't get it. I don't understand what Clement is doing. I don't understand how he's playing the team or why he's playing the team that he does. But we've got a team there that have got no heart, no guts, just nothing at the moment. And it's worrying, it's concerning. And as a fan, it hurts. It rips your guts out. It really genuinely does rip your guts out. It really, really does. Gazers says... we don't have the correct mix of players. That is the problem. Clement needs wingers and players that he wants. Clearly doesn't want some players he didn't choose. Possibly. We are a side lacking depth and quality. We need investment as even a new manager will toil with what's there. We need more than the odd performance here and there. I'll be honest with you. We're turning into a bigger version of Aberdeen. We're turning into Espanyol. We're turning into 1860 Munich. We're turning into a team that can play the odd game really, really well, but consistently cannot be perfect. Folks, the man just signed an extension to 2027. The board will probably watch things get much worse before giving him the dunt, simply because the compensation involved. Yeah, I mean, it's what I said. I don't honestly think he will get the sack. He won't be sacked tonight. He won't be sacked if we lose to Celtic on Thursday. He won't be sacked if we lose to Hibs on Sunday. He will continue to the end of the season because I don't honestly see the board having the balls to sack him, and I don't think the board have got the money to sack him, and that's the problem. You know, definitely not. Evening Ziggs, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you here. Square pegs in round holes. Might as well put petrol in a diesel vans and see how well that works, mate. Mitch would not be happy about that, would he? He would not be happy about that. Don't do that, mate. Can someone tell me when was the last time Rangers were 14 points behind Celtic? Good shout, Stephen. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Seriously concerned about giving Clement another war chest in January. Can he be trusted to bring in the right players in? I don't think he brings in the players, mate. I don't think he does. I think Clement Coppen does. I think he has a say, but I don't think it's solely down to him, mate. We're missing our Scottish identity. People who know that makes us function properly. I mean, going back, Blue Nose, when Walter was in charge of the team, you know, when Sir Walter was in charge, we had a Scottish core to that team, didn't we? We really did have a Scottish core to that team. And, you know, he used Scottish players and he wasn't afraid to go and buy Scottish players. You know, he wasn't afraid to give Scottish players their opportunity, was he? He really wasn't. So, for me, you know, we do need more Scottish players. We need Scottish players who understand what it is to play for Rangers, understand how to play for Rangers, understand what it means to play for this team. Like I said, you go back to Sir Walter and you look at his teams, and he had a core of Scottish players. I mean, can I just take you back to the 2008 UEFA Cup final, right? So this is a major European final, right? This is a major European final that we got to with Walter Smith's tactics, with Walter Smith's players, with Walter Smith's way of playing. So can I just take you back to that day? I know we lost 2-0 in the final, but I just want to take you back to this team, okay? This was the team that were in the final. This was the team that we had, right? Now, I would say that team is not what you would call a vintage Rangers team, right? But you look at the amount of Scottish players in that team. You look at the amount of homegrown players in that team who understand what it is to be Rangers players. And like I said, I don't think, with the odd exception, you've got a lot of top class talent in that team. But they still got all the way to the final. Neil Alexander, Scottish goalkeeper, not a great keeper. Kirk Broadfoot, Scottish. Davy Weir, Scottish. Carlos Cuellar was Spanish. Sasa Papac, Bosnian. Brahim Hemdani was Algerian. Barry Ferguson, our captain, Scottish. Kevin Thompson, Scottish. Stephen Whittaker, Scottish. Stephen Davis, honorary Scottish. Jean-Claude Darcheville, French. The substitutes that day: Graham Smith, Scottish. Christian Daly, Scottish. Charlie Adams, Scottish. Amdi Faye is Senegalese. Chris Boyd, Scottish. Nacho Novo, Spanish. Lee McCullough, Scottish. You look at the Scottish core to that team, and that was a team that got to a major European final. Major European final. Along the way, we beat the likes of Fiorentina. We really did. So I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Why we don't go back to that sort of thing of looking at a core of the Scottish players. Lennon Miller for 3 to 4 million would be an investment for us, or we could watch him go elsewhere, just like Lewis Ferguson. Also, wonder if Nathan Patterson would be looking for a way out of Everton. Look, I mean, Lennon Miller, I think, would have been a great buy in the summer. I think again, like the whole Lewis Ferguson thing, I think the boat has sailed on the Lennon Miller thing. I think Lennon Miller will head down south at the end of the season. I think he'll go down to Newcastle or to Liverpool or to one of the big English clubs. I think, with them sniffing around, that's where he'll end up. I think had we gone for him in the summer, then I think we probably could have got him. But I think the boat has sailed on that one. That was my thinking behind Big Dunk. I feel it's worth a shot at least. This is the thing, Scottish core to this team would help, I believe. Tavernier is seriously getting on my nerves. His demeanour in interviews is beyond embarrassing. It must carry through to the team and can't even muster up a different response other than disappointed. Andy, we do need a captain. We do need a real captain. If you look at when Rangers have been successful, they've had real captains. You talk of Terry Butcher, you talk of Barry Ferguson, for example, real leaders on the park. Patterson, yeah, I don't think we could get Patterson back because I don't think we could afford him, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think that's going to happen. But this club is a club. We are, fundamentally in a very, very bad place. I'm a very bad place. Why would we keep Byron and Miller when we ruined Bailey Rice? Good point. I'm on my way to bed, depressed. Keep up the good work, bro. Brilliant podcast as always. We'll always support our team no matter what, as we all will, David. As we all will. Flannel, mate. That's it. Flannel. That's what I said. I disagree, Grant, but everyone's entitled to opinion. Our squad are robbing a wage with a few exceptions. Lennon Miller and loan him back. You know what, mate? I don't think we even loan him back. I think Lennon Miller goes to the team, if I'm being honest with you. I don't think he would actually be a loan back candidate. I think he's a player that would actually, go straight into the team from the off. I don't think you could leave him out. I think, if you buy Lennon Miller, you play Lennon Miller because he's that good a player. He's that good a player. He really genuinely is. What have we got? What else have we got? We should be going back to the Moroccan market. There must be more gems. You'd hope so, wouldn't you? You really would hope so, wouldn't you? Right, guys, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much. What is happening with Matondo? He's not very good, Megan. That's what's happening with Matondo. I mean, he was another one. Comes back today, does absolutely nothing. Doesn't look fit. Doesn't look up to speed. Just looks dreadful. Just looks dreadful. seriously, guys, it's depressing. It is depressing. It really is. You know, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think that we would lose to well, we didn't lose, did we? We drew. We drew today. But I didn't think we would not win today. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I sat and made a video a couple of weeks ago, or a week or so ago, and we looked at the 4 fixtures we had coming up. I've deleted them now, but we looked at the 4 fixtures we had coming up in these 4 days, these 4 games. You know, the Sunday, Thursday, Sunday thing over the season. I honestly thought that we'd come away with 10, 12 points. I did. I must have been stupid, because we've got 1 point out of 6. 1 point out of 6, and they're further ahead now than they were. We cut the gap back to 9 points. It's now up to 14. Awful. Thank you, Megan. That's very generous of you. I know you're a Celtic fan, but you've been really respectful tonight. Thank you. You're always welcome. Thank you so much. Jiggy, thank you very much for that as well. Fantastic. Amazing. Amazing. Guys, it is time to go. We will need to head off. Talbot Toe defeated his post-match interview today. He was silent on the pitch regardless of how... Agreed. Guys, thank you so much for your support tonight. It's been absolutely phenomenal. I wish we could have met under happier circumstances today, but it's been another one. It really has. It has been a bad day. And we'll obviously reflect on it in the cold light of day once we've had a bit of time to calm down and sort ourselves out. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. It's been helpful talking. I'll try to get as many of your points up as possible, but it's been an absolutely crazy show. Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are going to do we're going to do an end of year review, guys. Thank you, Megan. Thank you so much. Cheers, Owen. Cheers, Joe. No worries. Thank you very much for watching, guys. On the way out, if you can smash the sub, smash the like, comment, share, do all that fabulous stuff, guys, as we try to get to the magic 7K in a very short period of time. Don't think it's possible. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for coming on board. New commenter in the live chat. Always welcome. As always, thanks, man. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Kev. No worries, buddy. See you soon. Guys, as always, thank you for watching. We will talk very, very soon again on the show. Please remember, even in the difficult most circumstances, we're one Rangers family. We are the people.